Okay, well, I was too chicken, and I wouldn't go all the way up through there to get on top, but Travis went up to the top of the waterfall, and this is about as far as I go. Yeah, it's just not my cup of tea to go climbing off the trail. That's probably the left side brain of me. Yeah, he can go up there. I'm not.
Hi guys, it's Monique from earlylearningmom.com. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about week 4 of our homeschool grade 2 year. Right now I'm homeschooling my 7-year-old. Technically he's in grade 2. He's registered as a grade 2 student with the province. And we did start off the year using Bookshark and the Doman International Doman Method program. And if you're not familiar with that, be sure to check out some of my other videos. If you scroll down below, you can see some links where I talk about this Doman Method program we're using. My son is 7 and he lives with autism and ADHD. And this program helps him to, it's basically tailor designed for him and using methods that Glenn Doman discovered work best with kiddos that have autism, ADHD, epilepsy, Down syndrome, any sort of brain injury. And so last week we decided, after talking to our staff coach, we were going to go strictly with Doman International and then try, like with the program that was designed, and try to work in social studies and science into our homemade books. And so I will be definitely diving into our Bookshark material to get the materials to create the homemade books. So this week we read Calendar Mysteries, The Case of the Back to School Burglar. And we also worked our way, we're still trucking through The Incredible Journey. And usually I start a chapter book with him and I finish it before I introduce another one. But this book is quite meaty, so, you know, bigger vocabulary. It's definitely something he couldn't pick up and read on his own. So we're reading this one a little more slowly, and we're adding in more books throughout, just to break it up a little bit. We phased out the poker chips. I kept them in, even though yet last week he demonstrated to me that he could do the poker chips, like understand the quantity. And if you want to learn, hear more about this, I did do a video about our math program. So if you're kind of lost, we are working on quantity with poker chips. And he was able to demonstrate that he understood quantity. So we moved on to flashcards, and we are retiring our first 5 flashcards. So we have 1 plus 3, 1 plus 5, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 1, and 1 plus 4. So we'll be moving on to the next 5, and we'll be keeping these around. I'm probably going to hole punch them or something and put a little ring, and these will be for review. So we finished that this week. We of course were doing his monkey bars. Glenn Doman has a book, Fit Baby, Smart Baby, Your Baby. Now, don't be discouraged. These books are not all about babies. They're about child development. And he talks about brachiation and the importance of it. So it helps grow the chest. It helps with fine motor skills and just organization. It's great for the brain. So right now we're working on making sure Z can hang from the monkey bars before we actually start teaching brachiation. So for this week, we went from 8 seconds 10 times a day to 10 seconds 10 times a day. And 10 seconds seems to be a little trickier for him, so we're probably going to stay, I'm probably not going to bump him up too quickly. I think I want him to be super confident at 10 seconds before I bump up to 12 seconds. We also worked on masking, and this week we got him up to 45 seconds, 30 times a day. Is it 30? Yes, 30 times a day. So we are probably going to be able to get him up to our 50-second goal, but it's probably going to take us a little bit more time to work up to the 50 mask goal. And for those of you that don't know what masking is, I am going to do a video about it. I may have already posted it by now. I'm not sure how these videos are going to be lined up, but we use these little masks, and it's to help bring oxygen to the brain. So I'll go into more detail about that at a later date, or you may have already seen it. Like I said, I'm kind of disorganized when I'm going to post these videos. This week we introduced some vocabulary words. So Glenn Doman has a book, How to Teach Your Baby to Read. And with that book, you make these big flashcards and you present different vocabulary words to your baby. Then you eventually introduce phrases and then sentences and then homemade books. Well, Z is already kind of past that. And right now what we're trying to do is get him to read a little quicker and to understand what he's reading. So we introduced the book. Here it is, All About Rain. I took words out of that and created these little flashcards. So it says detect, and then I wrote a quick definition at the back. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but I wrote to discover or notice, and then hail, pieces of frozen rain, and then we have precipitation, when snow, rain, sleet, or hail falls to the ground. We introduced the word sleet, which is freezing rain, and we introduced the word droplets, a small drop. And so I presented these to him, and then the program, I give him just the definitions as I read them to him very quickly, and then I will give him 2 words, and I'll ask, which one means pieces of frozen rain? And he selects, sorry, everything's backwards to me, he selects hail. And so he was doing really well with that. So we are going to retire these words, and then we're going to start a new book next week, and we're going to introduce some new words from that book. And just keep playing these games so he understands what the words mean, and it helps him read a little faster. We also, what else did we do this week? Let me double check my handy dandy guide. So yes, we did 2 homemade books. We did his listening therapy, so his ease listening therapy. I forgot to mention that last week, but we have been doing that 3 times a day for 10 minutes. And that is about it. Oh, and foot baths. We do the ionic foot bath to help pull out any toxins from his body, to help him learn better. Now, this week, we started off strong. Like Monday, Tuesday, we just kicked it. But I'm starting to realize that my weakness is not getting enough sleep. And when I don't get enough sleep, I am not motivated, and I'm drained, and we don't do as much. And this is why I'm so glad that we homeschool year-round, because while we're learning this and discovering what we need to change and make new routines and set up new things as a family, it gives me that big grace period. So I'm super glad we homeschool year-round, because I don't feel guilty about this. That being said, we are going to need to make some changes. We are looking at some food planning. I know a lot of YouTubers, like Jamerl Stewart is probably one of the better known ones for making meal plans. Our Tribe of Many, I believe. Her name's Sarah. It used to be Our Tribe of 10, but I think it's Our Tribe of Many now, because she keeps having all these cute, adorable babies. So they do once a month shopping, and then Sarah does not do big freezer cooking, but Jamerl does. So we're kind of looking at, my husband and I are hoping to go next week to go shopping for a freezer, and to get a nice big freezer, because right now we just have my little apartment size freezer, which doesn't hold a lot. So we're hoping to get a new freezer and start grocery shopping more intentionally, because I think we could save a lot of money too. And another thing, one of our big goals is next September for me not to replace the daycare kiddos that are going on to grade 1. I have 2 that are kindergarten as well. I have one that in September next September that will be going on to kindergarten, and he'll be going to the school-based daycare. And I have 2 that will be going on to grade 1, and they won't need childcare anymore except for, like, you know, in services and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that if we can get our budget under control and we can get everything in order, that hopefully I won't have to replace those kiddos and I can just keep my little guys, and it just takes some workload off of me. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm hoping to share with you guys some important changes that we've made, and I'm hoping to come up with a chore routine and a meal plan, and do once a month major big grocery shop with a halfway through kind of filler for things like fruits and vegetables. We don't drink milk here, so that's not a major concern for us, but I know we do tend to decide what we want for dinner, go out and buy it, come home and cook it, and by then it's super late. And then I'll end up staying up really late, and my hubby does, and then we're just really unmotivated and kind of crabby the next day. So I'm hoping to make some changes, and I'm hoping to take you guys along with us for that. This weekend we just came back. I'm actually doing this video on Sunday. Usually I do it in the middle of the next week, but I wanted to get this one done because, like you saw at the beginning of the video, we did go on kind of like a couples getaway, and we did some hiking, and we spent time together doing puzzles, and you know, just spending some one-on-one quality time. We really have been kind of neglecting that lately, and it's super important, obviously. Like, we both came back feeling really refreshed, and actually planning on doing this maybe every 6 months, getting away for a weekend. We rented a cabin. It was in a kind of gated off resort in a provincial park about an hour and a half away, and they don't allow children. It's couples only. There's no each cabin has an occupancy of only 2 and no visitors, so there's no parties going on. It's just couples wanting to get away, and that was really nice. We got to, like, you know, barbecue ourselves a fancy meal, and you know, relax in the jetted tubs and just have a great time reconnecting and talking. So, and things went really well at home. We're always worried when we leave Zakari behind with a sitter, let alone this is the first time we both left him together for a weekend. He's gone away on work trips and stuff like that, and I've gone away with my mom a few times, or to take, you know, Doman international related courses, but we've never left together. And we started off as a blended family, so we've been together for 12 years, and we've never gone away even for a night without one of our kids with us. So that was awesome for us, and so like I said at the beginning of the video, you probably saw a little clip of us by the waterfall that we discovered on our, what was supposed to be a 3-hour hike that turned into a 6-hour hike, but it was a lot of fun. So that's why you're not seeing any field trips. Like, usually on Sundays I want to try to make it tradition that we have a Sunday field trip, just to get out and make sure that, you know, we're exposing our kids to different things, but that just didn't happen this week because it was couples weekend. So anyhow, thanks for watching. I hope these updates are helpful, and we will talk to you guys very soon.